Welcome to day 9, opening to resistance and loving our fears. So we tend to think of resistance as something negative, and we don't allow enough time and space for it to soften and work itself out. Many times in trying to let go of resistance, we bypass it too quickly, and we may let go of it prematurely instead of working through it organically. Notice that resistance is a necessary part of the process. When I notice resistance in my clients, I know the process of healing is happening. In allowing the resistance is how it can show up fully so we can work through it. While resistance to some things in our life may be necessary from time to time, here we're talking about resistance that stops our growth and comes in the way of our healing. Underneath the resistance is fear. So much of our life is fear-driven. Fear disguises itself in many different ways, so it becomes difficult to identify. We all experience fear in one way or the other. There is fear of death, fear of judgment, fear of being left alone or abandoned, fear of losing our loved ones, fear of not having enough money to live. Our natural tendency is to resist the fear, which pushes it deeper into our subconscious and makes it invisible but stronger. This subconscious fear hijacks our better intentions and shows up as chronic anxiety, depression, passive-aggressive behavior, and in many other ways. Fear is part of love, just as darkness is part of light. It's just the other side of it. A very powerful way to dissipate fear is to show it love. When fear rises to our awareness, it's because it's ready to know love. So today's meditation is about stepping aside and opening our heart to the resistance and the fear that is underneath the resistance. So let's go ahead and get comfortable. And take a moment to close your eyes. Noticing your body from your toes, ankles, knees, hips, your back, shoulders, neck, jaw, belly. Notice your hands, your fingers. So gently noticing what there is to notice in the body, and then allow the body to be. Check in with the state of your mind and allow the mind to be. Now gently bringing attention to your breath. Again, noticing the sound, the movement, and the rhythm of the breath. So just gently moving into conscious breathing. With each breath, ease into the body a little more. And allow each breath to build on the one before. So each new breath is a little longer, slower, and deeper than the one before. So fluid breathing, effortless breathing, and ease into the body. And just gently slide your right hand on your belly, left on your heart, bringing awareness to the place of being in your belly and a place of feeling in your heart. So remember, these two are the inner rhythms. As the breath is slow, deep, and rhythmic, you will notice a gentle expansion and contraction in your belly. As the breath regains its natural rhythm, your heartbeat will become slower and natural as well. So anytime we can bring attention to these two rhythms in our body and set our inner clock, if you will, an inner rhythm. So with the breath, noticing the movement in the belly, the movement in the chest, and you drop into the body even more. You can now relax these hands back in your lap or on your knees. And gently drop the mind into the heart. So it's possible that you may already feel resistance, because we're talking about fear, loving our fears. So there may be already resistance to this meditation, and just simply noticing that. So remember that as long as you are tuning into the breath, you are connected to the body. You can forever be safe as long as you are connected to your breath and you are connected to the body. And one of the peculiar things about healing is nothing rises to our awareness until we are ready to handle it. So there's a built-in mechanism for safety. When we can't handle something, it simply stays away from our awareness, buried deep into our subconscious. So if something has come up for you, even though it may feel very difficult, notice that you are equipped and trust that you are equipped to handle it. Breathing into that knowing and trusting that knowing. So, is there something in your life that you feel resistance to? And what may that be? In any area of our life, there may be resistance somewhere in any of our relationships, resistance to any change or growth that may be happening, resistance to someone at our workplace, resistance to what's happening in the world, resistance to politics, resistance to someone else's viewpoint. So remember, it's not about believing that what you know is correct. So when we notice resistance, it's really about opening our mind and our limited perceptions to expand. Remember that to some degree, we all believe in what we say. So just noticing what you have resistance to, and quite possibly there may be more than one. And just notice if you have judged yourself as good or bad because of this resistance. So it's possible that you have kept this resistance hidden or buried from fear of judgment, judgment from others, and perhaps your own judgment. So here you are completely safe to simply notice what there is to notice and acknowledge it. And ask yourself as to why am I resisting? As you ask the question, the reasons will begin to surface. So as I mentioned earlier, beneath all resistance is fear. Is this your reason, fear, for your resistance? And if so, can you name the fear? So fear of, fill in the blank. There may be more than one. Many times it's a bunch of different fears that keep us in a resistance mode. Now, can you lean into this fear and feel the fear? Feel the fear as if it has already happened. As if it is happening right now. This may change your breathing. You may notice tension arising in the body. So feel it as much as you can. Notice it's not here to stay. And as you tap into this fear, you may experience emotions or tears falling or rolling down your eyes. You may also notice intense anger or other emotions. So remember, you're not required to understand any of it. You're not even required to feel all of it. You just simply feel what's at the surface. And many times there's a sense of feeling overwhelmed or confusion or heaviness, and we can't necessarily pinpoint what the feeling is. Notice that as well and allow it to be there, just like that. You're not asked to fix or solve anything, just simply to feel what you feel. That's it. Continue to breathe. Continue to feel settled in your body. And continue to feel safe. Like an observer, allow the resistance and what's behind the resistance to show itself to you freely, in its own way, in its own pace. That's it. You're just simply becoming conscious of what has been sitting or hiding in the subconscious. And there's no reason to stop the tears or the anger if that's what's showing up. Let it be and simply feel it. The tears are how the fear is turning into love. Tears make our sorrows sweet. Tears mean we are finally feeling safe to open our heart. And be vulnerable. Just go ahead and place your hand on your heart. Put your right hand on your heart and then put the left hand on top of the right hand with gentle pressure. Just to support yourself during this. Be gentle and tender with yourself. And just gently open your heart to all that you are feeling. When we feel what we're feeling, this is how the love flows to the fear. So you may feel love and fear at the same time. You continue to flow love by opening your heart to all that you are feeling. Gentle attention to your breath and just being here, breathing and being. That's it. Continue to breathe. So it's possible that you're beginning to see a little bit more, perhaps connect more dots in contacting the field of greater awareness. You may lean into resistance and the fear underneath. Accepting and making it part of you, part of your experience and part of your journey. You may feel softer and stronger at the same time. So remember, when we open our heart and flow love, we are immersing ourselves into the one flow of love, which includes everything. So that everything is fear and everything that is dark as well. Remember, fear is part of love, it's just the other side of it. We may have been accustomed to pushing the fear aside, deeming it wrong or bad. But in so doing, we actually make the fear even bigger. So fear, when it rises to your awareness, is ready to know love. Whose love? Your love. So when you open your heart to your fears, you are loving those parts of you that are fearful. So you're moving into an expanded version of you, which is more holistic. It includes love and fear, both. It's a full spectrum love. This is how we become a full spectrum being. So in the one flow of love, we kick nothing out. We include everything in it. Just like the big ocean that takes everything in, and whatever we put into the ocean, it becomes part of the ocean. When fear merges in to the flow of love, it becomes love. That's how we expand love. That's how we expand ourselves. So feel your heart fuller and expanded. You may feel fuller, warmer, perhaps more grounded in your body. Take a moment now to slowly come back to your body and your breath. Opening your eyes gently. And just set a gentle intention to drop into your heart frequently throughout your day. And see if you can expand your heart to any fear or resistance or pain that may show up. So this is how we heal ourselves, by loving our pain and loving our fears. I will meet you at day 10.